The previous Sword Emperor. I arrived at this country of the interstice immediately after I handed over the Sword Emperor title to my son. I couldn't find any reason in fighting against demons, despite always being on the front lines. Why do humans and demons continue fighting? There's no answer to my question. If I had time to think about this question that doesn't even have an answer, I would rather wield my sword and kill enemies. However, one of my apprentices becomes the hero, and the demons didn't attack after he went over to the demons' territory alone. He was also a man who lost the meaning to fight, similar to me, and although I don't know how he did it, the war was stopped temporarily. Only a very small number of humans, including me, who knows that he went into the demons' territory. I don't know. That's why there were a lot of people who had distrust toward the demons that suddenly became quiet. There were many voices that say it's necessary to take advantage of this opportunity. However, I wanted to bet on him, that he would put an end to the history of the humans and the demons who continued fighting. But I can never see the result. Although I have confidence in my sword skills, I'm weak when it comes to politics. The battle disappeared, the position of the civil officer began to become stronger than the military officer, and an incompetent man who can only swing the sword like me was not needed. Fortunately, although my son's sword skill is unskilled, his head is pretty much good. I saw that it would be better if I entrust the future of the Empire to my sword, rather than the antique like me sitting on the throne forever. When I decided so, I felt relieved of my burden instantly. It seems that I suffered by the strong pressure of the person called the Sword Emperor before I myself noticed it. I don't know. The question that I can't afford to think about grew big when I surrendered my throne to the son retired. Surrendered the throne to my son and retired. Must the humans and the demons continue fighting? I don't think so. In fact, there were radicals in the Empire, but there was an unpleasant war mood generally. The long fight gave the blow not a little for the Empire and cast a gloomy shadow over the whole country. The demons are surely in a similar situation. That's why they withdrew. They can understand that there's a common thought with the humans. If they have a similar thought, it's never impossible to understand each other. I concluded so. And I was found by that person and was invited to the country of the interstice. A scene, as I imagined, spread out there. The humans and the demons live without discrimination, and they live without shedding blood and swinging weapons. I shed tears of gratitude and decided that I will spend the rest of my life here. Although it would be good that I can accomplish my natural lifespan slowly, it doesn't seem to go that way. I draw my beloved sword. In this peaceful country, I didn't let go of my beloved sword. On the contrary, I did the maintenance properly without missing everyday training. It's not that I didn't anticipate that it could happen, but I can never throw away my other half created by the sword. I swing the weapon while praying for peace. I continue to hold such a contradiction. It's ironical that it's useful. I head to the opposite direction of the escaping people. I can already see the opponent's figure, the large build that far exceeds the human's height, ogre, and in addition to that, the evolved species. Judging from the size, it's probably a high ogre. However, the intimidating air that can be felt exceeds the ogre king that I have fought before. The presence was common with the demons that can't be reached by a human's hand, but still I step forward towards the ogre. Even though I have retired, I'm the former Sword Emperor, and a Sword God. The one who ruled the sword. Even if I lose the status, the victory or defeat won't be decided with that alone. I will teach it to this raging ogre. The first layer of the magic mountain. The ice dragon met its master there. It barely survived from the ogre and contacted the master. The master who received the contact came to the ice dragon immediately with transfer. The man who heard the situation from the ice dragon gave the word in treatment of appreciation to the ice dragon and left with transfer, leaving the words, "I will go first." And because the ice dragon can't use transfer, it flies to return. And in the place where it returned, the ice dragon became perplexed that its master, who should have come to this place earlier, is not there. The master of the ice dragon, Kuro, realized that the space movement by transfer ended in failure. Although it's a movement that should end in an instant, usually it's never cancelled, as if the darkness like the hell wrapped Kuro's whole body. Kuro thinks. The space was interfered when transferring, and I was locked up in a different space. He grasps the present conditions so. However, Kuro is the strongest existence in this world. There can't be an existence that interferes Kuro's transfer. But in fact, Kuro is locked up like this. It's unlikely that an outside god invaded. The system is set sensitively about it. There should only be a few high-rank gods who invade this world without being sensed by the system that D made. And if it's such a high-rank god, it should be easy to erase Kuro rather than locking him up. And Kuro thinks of two possibilities. The first one is interference by D. The second one is the beginner who reached the god just recently. Both are impossible, but it may be that both are possible. D's actions can't even be read by Kuro. It's possible to think that she interferes on a whim, even if she carried out the non-interference so far. The beginner can't do anything advanced to the extent that can obstruct Kuro's transfer. The god technique is not a thing that can be mastered in a day, but that beginner reached the god in a little period. When thinking of the growth rate, he's made to think that it's not strange even if she can do it. Yeah, either way, it's unchanged that it's a troublesome thing. Kuro tries to escape from the different space. At that moment, the darkness turns white, like obstructing him. A large quantity of white spiders that made him to think so filled up the view and swallows Kuro's body. At that point, the other party became clearer. What are you planning, Shiraori? Kuro pushed through the tsunami of white spiders and gave off an angry voice. There was no response to the voice. What? Is she following the Oni guy now and helping him out or something? What is she doing? What is she doing? So she figured out how to fuck with Kuro now? I liked calling him Gyuri. It's a fun one. Alright. That's interesting. We got a bunch of shit. Next chapter is going to be a big old fight. And then more fights and fights and fights for a while. It's going to be old Dragon Ball Z style, sort of. I don't know. I took a look at the chapter titles a little bit. Yeah.